Привет, меня зовут Паша Коваленко, я учитель русского языка, и в этом видео я хочу поговорить про свою любимую русскую музыку. Я буду говорить в основном по-английски, но потом я переключусь на русский, чтобы вы могли послушать немного медленной русской речи, русского языка. Но сначала я буду говорить на английском. Maybe there are people who are still considering learning Russian, but they haven't started learning Russian, so I wanted to make sure that they can also watch this video without any troubles. Alright, but there is going to be a section in Russian, so don't worry, you'll get your comprehensible input. I know that you guys kind of want this, it's important, so you're going to get that, don't worry. But yeah, kind of the main point of this video is I made a playlist. I made a playlist with some of my favorite Russian music. I'm going to talk about this playlist in the Russian section. It's going to have subtitles, so don't worry if you're just a total beginner, you'll still be able to understand something. And yeah, I want to talk about like some of my favorite artists first. I'm going to talk about the playlist, and then again I want to talk about like where you can get Russian music, because maybe if you don't live in Russia, if you don't have a Russian friend, it can be quite difficult to get access to a ton of Russian music. But first I want to talk about like why even I bothered talking about Russian music as a Russian teacher. Like, aren't you supposed to like be making like content about grammar, about phonetics? I mean, as you used to do quite actively, or about like, help people learn new vocabulary. Like, why are you recommending people Russian music? First of all, it's like a nice, change of pace, because like talking about grammar, talking about vocabulary is something that I do during the day. So it's nice to just take a break and talk about some more kind of entertaining, more just, because not personal, but some more human stuff. That's kind of the first point. And the second point is that, well, I mean, what is language? What is a language? Is this a bunch of grammar tables, verb conjugation tables, or a list of words? Well, no, it's a reflection of the culture. And and how can we learn a language without connecting it to real people, to music, to literature, to movies, right, to cinema, to any other art forms? How can we not connect it to like traditions, to mentality of the people who speak this language? That is the living language. That is the living language. But also, let's get into the more practical aspect of this stuff. I have found that listening to the same content or watching the same content again and again can greatly improve your fluency. I personally have observed it with both my English and Chinese practice, especially in the beginning when I was learning Chinese. Repeated content, just repeatedly, like either memorizing stuff, learning stuff by heart. I mean, it has been of great help to me in my language learning journey. But I mean, learning stuff by heart, that's also, let's be honest, it's extremely boring, and I would not wish this upon my worst enemy. But you know what is a better way to get access to a ton of memorized texts in your brain? Listening to songs. Let me tell you, just because if you find songs that you like, you're gonna want to listen to them on repeat, just because you like the song, you like the melody, you like the music, like just you like some aspect of it. You're gonna be listening to it many times, especially if you approach it like more meticulously. If you prepare, if you maybe analyze the lyrics, you look at the lyrics, you learn all the new words, some maybe strange grammar that you're not familiar with. If you come prepared, you'll learn the kind of you not learn, but you research the lyrics beforehand. Then you listen to the song, and then it becomes part of your library, and that's how basically you can, in my opinion, greatly influence your fluency. You just have this imagine you just have this huge library of memorized texts in your brain, and you didn't have to like me, just sit in front of a student book and learn these texts by heart. You didn't have to do that, because you just have these songs in your brain, and whatever you have to make a new phrase, or you don't know how to conjugate stuff, you can just rely on that library. You can just go ahead and find this kind of word, or this similar situation, or it's a similar grammatic situation. Just pull stuff out of the library, and use that to compose your sentence, or to come up with words. That's why we're going to talk about music, and that's why I think intuitively people are also drawn to music. That's why you get a lot of this question, like people ask, "Can you recommend some music? Can you recommend some music?" Well, of course, because people intuitively know that, like, they want to make this interesting. They want to make learning a language interesting, and like, what a better way, right, to learn a language than through music? I mean, especially if you're someone who is because a melodically, really musically stimulated person, especially, it's going to be like such a joyous way to learn learning a language. Another aspect of this that I think is also worth mentioning is that learning a language is about consistency, don't you think? I've seen so many people burn out, like so many people stop learning because it becomes tedious, they become unmotivated, they just burn out, stop learning a language. I mean, it's completely relatable. It's completely, if you kind of push yourself like a slave and into doing mundane, boring stuff without trying to spice it up, without trying to make it exciting in any way possible, you're just going to be burned out. I mean, you're just going to burn out at some point. What is a way to keep yourself motivated? I mean, it's finding interesting content, finding interesting people in your target language, like be it YouTubers, be it artists, be it writers. Like a lot of people come into learning Russian from like liking Russian authors, like Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, Chekhov. They're going to be motivated. Or again, sometimes people are motivated by having a really good friend or I guess a lover in their life who speaks Russian, or some family. So they're greatly motivated to connect with these people on a better level, right, on a deeper level, by learning their language. It's also really strong motivation. I have a hunch that not every one of you guys watching is married to a Russian person. So you still need to find a way to create motivation. And again, I'm a firm believer in creating your own motivation, in creating inspiration, not just sitting like and just waiting. Okay, where's my inspiration gonna come? I mean, this is such a waste of time to just try to expect that inspiration is going to come and just grace you, and then you're going to feel inspired. Oh, I feel inspired to learn Russian now. I mean, no, it's just not how it works. You just do something consistently, and you'll find inspiration in that process. Or you just add interesting stuff into your life that is connected with that thing, with that language, for example. And that's how you make it interesting. That's how you keep yourself motivated. It's part of our job. Like, our job sounds, I guess, very serious. It's part and parcel of this task that we are embarked on, right? We want to learn a language, and it's our part of our task to help us stay motivated. And what is a better way to be motivated than finding emotional connection to the language, finding stuff that you really, really like in this language, right? What can be a better way to stay motivated, to stay emotionally connected to this thing? Right, that's why I'm talking about music today, and that's why people intuitively are asking about, can you recommend Russian music, can you recommend some Russian music? Because they feel that is a way to emotionally connect to this language. The first artist that I wanted to mention is Krem Soda. They are kind of this electronic, I guess pop, I guess house pop project. And there is some lore behind it, so we'll definitely need some Russian to find out what's going on with this project. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but I'll just tell you that it's a really, really interesting project. It's like they combine really well the electronic, the house, all different. To be honest, they try all different genres of electronic music, and they combine it so seamlessly with, I guess, poppy, but also pop that is really heavily influenced by like Russian folk songs. So it's just like, especially the new vocalist Alisa. She brings such an interesting feel to this music, to especially, like, for example, you'll notice that if you listen to Krem Soda's albums, you'll notice that there's like definitely a stage where a new voice comes in, and she definitely brings a very different feel to the project, and that is a feel that is very much welcome in Russia. We really, really love this folk influences. Her voice just has these notes that really just pierce through your heart and really like hit you like exactly like on some deep level as a Russian person. They're so extremely well produced. It's just, they bring such a fresh feeling to music, you know. It's just really, really, I mean, just really good stuff. It's not just, again, just dudes. They actually do have like just most of the songs have lyrics to them, so you can definitely have a field day with their lyrics. I mean, some people may call their lyrics a bit like teenagery, you know, a lot of stuff about like partying. Not every song, but they have songs about like just partying, about like unrequited love, just some things that some people may find a bit maybe immature, but I mean, she has such a beautiful voice. They have such a nice vibe, such a nice dancey vibe, which you may be surprised, but Russian people love dance music. Millennials seem to be especially impartial to Krem Soda. Just myself, I'm also a millennial. I'm 31, so probably it will be easier to relate for other millennials, but to be honest, I think their music is really exciting and really can be appreciated by all ages. I highlighted a couple of songs from them that I personally like the most. Like the first song is Vibe. I think even just for this one little moment that I played, I mean, it's such an enjoyable little part, a little bit vocal. I just really appreciate her vocal stylings. I mean, I just can't get enough of her voice. She's such a pretty voice, and literally, like, grown men, like, in the comments say that, oh, her voice made me cry. Another song is "Не встретились с тобой," which is a bit of like, I guess, a tearjerker, a bit of like a poignant song. Her voice is so amazing, and it's just, yeah, I can't get enough of her voice. Really pretty, really beautiful voice. Really definitely recommend. Also, some older stuff is really good. Никаких больше вечеринок, for example. Никаких больше вечеринок.
Теплый воздух, быстрая река, трое суток мы с тобой весна. Верь мне на слова, мы будем жить вечно. Бери меня на славу, обещаю проиграть.
You can maybe feel more connected to their older stuff or maybe to their newer stuff. I think I can listen to every song they made is just well produced and just feels so fresh and just exciting. The next artist I wanted to recommend is Faience Knife. It's just so, their music is so ethereal. It got such a nice, peaceful vibe to it. Slight melancholic, but also really peaceful. It kind of reminds me of like a night summer walk in St. Petersburg, frozen beauty of the night, and just this calm. This is what kind of their music reminds me of. Such a beautiful voice. The vocalist, Vasilisa, if I remember correctly, Vasilisa, her voice is just so magical, so just mind-blowing. I think probably some of the most beautiful voices that I probably heard in my life. Two of my favorite songs that I wanted to mention is It Feels Like I Start Over Again. And the next song that I really like is Напрасно. So ethereal, so almost like it hugs you like a cloud. Yeah, it's probably all the reverb that feels this way. But again, it's like I love this type of vocals. I mean, it really takes me somewhere. Vasilisa's voice is just magical. But unfortunately, they're no longer active. This project is no longer active. They're not working anymore. That's kind of a bit sad, but also, I mean, they did what they wanted to do, right? We still have this beautiful works, this beautiful music to appreciate for the rest of our lives. So, I mean, if people kind of felt like they wanted to move on, they want to do something else, well, it's right, it's their freedom. If you wanted to listen to her voice, to Vasilisa's voice, she still works under a solo project, as far as I understand. Actually, I'm not sure if it's fully solo, but definitely she's still a vocalist in this Хрусталик project. I'm going to add a couple of songs with Хрусталик, under Хрусталик, into this playlist so you can find her. Again, listening to people like this, people listen to Alisa from Cream Soda and Vasilisa from Faience Knife and Хрусталик. After listening to people like that, I mean, can people still say that Russian sounds harsh, intimidating, grating? Russian sounds bad for music. I mean, someone in their right mind say stuff like that? I mean, because literally I've heard people say stuff like that. And the third project has finally some male voice. It's Sirotkin. It's very emotional, really poignant, kind of raw, emotional outpour. Yeah, you have to be careful while listening to his stuff because you might shed a tear or two because he does create some really emotional songs, and his voice is also really captivating, very, really strong, really emotional voice. So, I think a lot of people may appreciate his music. Actually, probably one of my favorite songs that I've listened to so far is "Водопады."
Глупый сон и усталость, глупый сон и усталость.
really good quality, good production, just good voice, great lyrics, definitely worth digging into his lyrics. Right, and now let's switch to Russian. И теперь давайте поговорим про плейлист, который я сделал. Я, конечно же, добавил в этот плейлист все песни, которые я здесь, проиграл в этом видео, где я говорил про крем-соду, про Faience и про Сироткина. Я добавил туда все эти песни и еще другие песни этих исполнителей, которые мне тоже нравятся, но которые я не упоминал в этом видео. Мне хотелось добавить побольше новой музыки, потому что русская классическая музыка, русские классические композиторы, Чайковский и Мусоргский, очень известные композиторы во всем мире. Поэтому, возможно, кто-то знает уже про русскую классическую музыку, но про новую русскую музыку, мне кажется, очень мало люди знают за рубежом, в других странах. И мне кажется, что у нас есть прекрасные исполнители, люди постоянно делают новую музыку, очень много интересной музыки, которую можно найти. И в конце я вам расскажу, где вы можете найти эту музыку. Мне кажется, что люди много упускают, если они не следят за новой русской музыкой. Поэтому мне хотелось взять этот плейлист. Этот плейлист — это не топ-20, не топ-50 самых популярных песен из России. Это просто музыка, которая нравится лично мне. Музыка, которая в моем субъективном вкусе. Возможно, ваши русские друзья не слышали про некоторые песни или некоторых исполнителей, про которых я рассказывал. Знаете, этот плейлист — это если бы меня мой друг попросил прислать мою любимую русскую музыку. Вот такой вот плейлист я бы ему отправил. И я постараюсь добавлять новые песни туда. Если я найду новую русскую музыку, которую я или забыл, может быть, это что-то старое, но я забыл про эту песню или про эту музыку, я ее добавлю в этот плейлист. Или, может быть, что-то новое я найду, и я постараюсь добавлять в этот плейлист, когда я буду что-то находить. То есть я буду его обновлять. Еще это включил музыку советских композиторов, какие-то советские песни еще. Потому что в советской музыке очень много сокровищ, в советской музыке очень много красивых песен. Советские фильмы вообще можно смотреть без картинки. Можно просто выключить картинку, оставить только звук, оставить только звуковую составляющую, и все равно вы получите огромное эстетическое наслаждение просто от того, что настолько красивая музыка в советских фильмах и настолько красивая речь, красивые голоса у актеров. Вам и так очень понравится этот фильм, даже без картинки, потому что настолько красивая музыка. Музыки русских композиторов и немного народной музыки, немного, как на английском сказали бы, folk music, народной музыки, мы бы сказали на русском, потому что как без этого, как без народной музыки. Неважно, где вы родились, вы все равно можете почувствовать силу народной музыки, любого народа. И теперь я хочу рассказать вам, как находить русскую музыку. Инди-музыку, наверное, лучший ярлык для этой группы будет, именно инди-музыка. Вообще интересный вопрос, что такое инди-музыка, что такое инди. Наверное, это музыка, которая сделана не из каких-то материалистических соображений, не в желании сделать финансовую какую-то выгоду, когда продюсер вливает огромные деньги в какой-то совершенно пустой продукт. Человеку нравится заниматься музыкой, и это видно. Наверное, вот это главная черта инди-музыки, потому что, например, крем-сода, они довольно популярны. У них были очень популярные песни. Мне не очень нравятся такие ярлыки, I'm mentioning this because probably a lot of these artists, they will probably have this indie label under their music, but whatever that means, right? Whatever that they mean by that. But yeah, and now I wanted to share with you what I found, for example, a lot of these artists that I mentioned earlier, and a lot of artists that I'm going to be adding to this playlist, for example, a lot of new Russian, I guess, mostly indie music, but I mean, don't be worried. There's actually a lot of genres. Actually, I don't think they're really limited by any genre. There are actually a lot of genres that they put into this place I'm going to tell you about. So basically, it's like a group. I guess you can call it or a Telegram channel. I think they have a Telegram channel. I think they also are on Spotify. It's called Motherland, and I think they started just as a Vkontakte group. I know them from Vkontakte. I'm subscribed to them on Vkontakte. They started as a Vkontakte group, which they were posting new Russian music that they found, a couple of curators, and they're just finding new Russian releases of Russian music, and they just post them, right, for people to see, for people to discover. And also they've made their personal like tops, top lists, right, that they recently found and appreciate more. That's a really good place to start, just the lists of these curators with a bunch of new Russian music, because I mean, you're probably gonna skip a lot of like it's just all different, really different sounds. Like you just click through songs and they're not united by genre, and it's just really different genres. But I think definitely there's always something you can find there. I always find something like something that appeals to me, even though maybe I don't like rock music that much, or I don't like maybe rap music. I don't really vibe with it that much. But still, you scroll and you'll find some stuff that you're gonna like. So I'm for sure certain that you'll find some stuff that you like. I'm gonna add the link to this Motherland channel in my description for this video, as well as a link to the playlist that I've made. But I think you just click on my channel and you'll find this playlist. It's not going to be difficult. So yeah, that's been the video. If you want to learn more about the Russian language and Russian culture, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to see you guys in the next videos, and goodbye.